in my last video, I ended with how I lost my virginity to gang rape. And I don't count that as losing my virginity, but that's how I ended the last video. And so that was the beginning of my ninth grade summer. And shortly after that, my cousins came down to visit, and we got into all kinds of trouble, all kinds of mess. And this is whenever we would steal my parents' car keys at night and then go and drive the car all night long, listening to music and smoking cigarettes. And oh my goodness, it was crazy. And also that summer, my brother's dad and mom began to get back together. So I was beyond happy and excited about that. I was so happy about that. And he had gotten his previous girlfriend pregnant, so he had a baby on the way, and I was excited and happy about that. And I remember in those apartments, I remember a lot of times, my mother was so neurotic. At this time she's working a real job. She's working her little booty off to support us. And she gosh, she would get so mad at us. So mad. She would tell us that we had to clean the house. And then I would spend all day long trying to keep that house clean, trying to clean the house, doing stuff. But I would always forget to see something that she saw, and she would get on to me so bad. I mean, just yell, yell, yell. I knew whenever mom was coming home that she would be yelling and going nuts, going insane. And so I would try to avoid her whenever she was coming home. I would try to be anywhere but there. And, at first I tried to clean up. I tried my hardest to keep it clean. I thought that that would make her feel better. And sometimes in her rants and raves, she would be yelling, I can't believe that y'all would do this to me. Why would you do this to me? And I would be thinking, because I don't have a choice. It doesn't matter what I do, Mom. You're going to be upset about it. Like, my mom was just an upset person. Like, life was hard for her, I guess. So, yeah, me and my brother tried to avoid her. I did try to keep the house clean for a while, and my brother was like, what's the point? And I quickly learned there is no point. So I didn't care no more. And also, after that incident happening to me, I was very broken, but, like, I tried to hide it or something. It's kind of like I split or something. I don't know. I do remember in those apartments, a lot of times I would just sit and play Nintendo and get high. I would just smoke weed, play Nintendo, and that's it. And I remember I'd play it on mute because, any little noise, my mom is going off. So I would play it on mute, and I remember playing Mortal Kombat, getting high playing Mortal Kombat, and like every time that like I would play with Sub-Zero or Scorpion, they would do this laugh at the end, and like I could hear it in my head. I would hear them laughing every time. But if I turned up the volume, that's not what they're not laughing. They're like saying something, but at the end they would go and to me it was like wah ha ha, and I would hear it every time. But yeah, I remember that, and I remember I was a little bit more standoffish and a little bit shy, and I was very broken, and I remember my brother looking at me like, whoa, like I would never, I don't know what happened. Like, he thought that a boy had cheated on me, and he was like, if this is how it hurts girls to have a boy cheat on you, I will never cheat on a girl. And I thought that that was so sweet of him to say, but it wasn't just that. And I was just trying to forget, I guess. But yeah, that summer was pretty cool. After my cousin came down and spent some time with us. Well, also, my cousin, she can. Oh my goodness. My cousin, whenever she was down staying with us, we decided together to do ding dong ditch in the apartment. So do ding dong ditch all over the apartments. Where you knock and you ring the doorbell and then you run off, and it's so funny, I guess. And we also decided to toilet paper the apartments. And this was like all night long. We were ding dong ditching people like in the middle of the night. And we toilet papered a couple of the trees in the apartment complex. And then we thought that we were good. Well, the next day, the apartment manager comes knocking on my mom's door and is like, "You got to get your girls. We've called the cops and everything." Somebody had spray painted the side of the building, one of the buildings, and the they spray painted the mailboxes. And so they thought that we did that, and we were like, no. And we even admitted to what we did do. We were like, we ding dong ditched, and the toilet paper is ours. If you want us to clean up the toilet paper, we'll do that. But they were like, no, it's this, and then they found a spray can in the trash, and they were like, we got your fingerprints now. And we were just like, yay, you got the fingerprints. You'll find out it's not us, because it wasn't us. We didn't do that. We did the other things. If you want to get us in trouble for the other things, okay. But we did not spray paint anything. And yeah, they ended up finding out that it was not us. And we were like, told you so. But yeah, and so then I got to go and spend some time with my cousin down south because she was living down south. And so I got to go down south with my cousin, and we were trying to go to these parties, and we were trying to sneak out to go to this party. Everybody's going to be there. And so we sneak out, and we go to this party, and I meet this boy, and he's so cute, and we didn't ever kiss or anything, but we talked and we hung out, and he like hugged me, and it was sweet and innocent. And we were drinking at this party, and her brother was there too. And then we come back, and oh my gosh, we are like drunk, and it's like 4 in the morning, and we're drunk, and we're trying to climb back in the window. We make a big old ruckus, a big old mess, and we get caught. And yeah, we were in trouble, but he wasn't, and he was at the exact same party. And it was so funny because she was like, why can't you be more like him? Because he's good, and he doesn't go nowhere. And we were like, he's just better at not getting caught. That's what it is. But yeah, and then we, at that time, her current stepdad, and her mom decided that we all need to go on the party barge and go out on the lake. And my cousin did not want to go at all. She was like, this is not fun. We're not going to like it. Plus, we were hungover. And we just wanted to rest and get ready for the next party, because this party, the boy that she was crushing on happened to not be there. But the next party, he was guaranteed to be there. So she really wanted to go to the next party. And we wanted to rest up, but they were like, nope, you're out partying all day. You still got to go to the party barge. Oh, well, sorry if you don't like it. And we went all the way to the lake, and it was so funny because we were like, this is bull. We don't want to do this. This sucks. And we were sitting on a thing, and a butterfly came, and it landed on her hand. And I was just like, look, a butterfly landed on your hand. And she was like, do we get a wish? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, I wish that the party barge would break down so we could go home. And it did. It did. It straight up did. It was like, and then they were like, what happened? They were like, oh, man. And then we went home. Yeah. And then after that, my aunt was like, okay, Misty's going home. That's it. We're done. We're done with this nonsense, y'all's nonsense. I'm done with it. She's going home. So it was too soon. I wasn't supposed to go home. And so I was upset about it, and she was upset. She didn't really get upset about it. She was like, it's fine. We're just going to go. Okay? And so, yeah, I was wearing flip-flops, and we gather up like a couple sandwiches and some water bottles, and we decide to just take off walking. And where are we going to walk to? To her boyfriend's house, which is about approximately 5 miles down the road. But we didn't want to walk along the road because we were afraid that we would get caught. So we walked along the railroad tracks. There wasn't a train coming at all. And so we did. We walked along the railroad tracks for about 5 miles and made it all the way to her boyfriend's house. And her mom and dad were there, mad. And they were like, we knew that this is where you would come. And yeah, I had a big old blister on my foot from walking. It was crazy, that big old blister I got. And then, yeah, I had to go home. It was inevitable. I was going to have to go home. And yeah, I ended up just playing out the rest of my ninth grade summer in those apartments, getting high, playing video games, trying to avoid everyone. I got kind of depressed. And then I went back to my grandparents to start my 10th grade year. And now I'm no longer a virgin, but I'm still wearing my virgin ring because I don't count that. And I am very much a wild child at this point. I mean, that boy down south, I was calling him all the time because, I really liked him a whole lot, but it wasn't going to work out. Long distance doesn't work out. But yeah, there was no repenting this time. I am a wild child, and it wasn't on the weekends that I smoke weed. It was every day I find a way to smoke weed. I was sneaking weed. I had it at my grandma's. I would smoke it in my bedroom. I'd smoke it in the bathroom. I'd smoke it in my grandpa's shop. Anywhere that I could, I would be smoking weed. And I found out, I was in all advanced classes and my science teacher smoked weed. And so me and him would smoke weed after school because I would just walk. Because, I'm older now and the house was just right there. You could see the house, so I could just walk to the house. And yeah, I even smoked weed with my science teacher. But yeah, I became uncontrollable, My grandparents really couldn't handle it anymore. And, I would go to my dad's and I would really party hard now. And, yeah, I became a wild child. I embraced the wild side of me. And it was like no turning back, My prayer life was non existent. I still would read the Bible because I felt like I needed that. So I still would read the Bible. Now in my time of life, I'm away from the stuff that I was really into as my childhood, and I'm moving more into the prophets because I did feel like I've always had this deep feeling of revelation will happen in my lifetime in one way or fashion. And so I did start reading the prophets a lot more in depth, but I also started reading the Bhagavad Gita, Hindu texts. I also started, any religious text that I could get my hands on, I would learn and read, because what I love to do is get high and learn about religion and religious texts and scripts and stuff. And that was another thing that got me in trouble with my grandparents was they found, the Bhagavad Gita. They found the Book of Mormon, and they were like, they set me down and had to talk to me, and they're like, do you understand that this is false religions? I'm like, yeah, I'm curious. I want to know. I want to know how people believe and why they believe. And, that's all that it was for me. So, yeah. And so there's the rest of my ninth grade summer into my 10th grade year. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm so glad that you're here. Thank you guys so much. Please be blessed on your journeys. I really appreciate every single one of you. Thank you guys so much, and I guess I'll see you on the next one. Thank you so much for watching my testimony. I appreciate all of you. I just want to put a disclaimer here at the end. This testimony is based off my memories and how I remember it, and memories can get convoluted, distorted. So maybe not all the details are factual, and it's not a completely factual story, but it's still my story and my truth. And I really appreciate all of you for watching. So I hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching my story. That's all she got.